Alright, here we are at the Jackson Stair climb race. It's going to be 22 stories. We'll have a chip start at the first floor, and then we'll run all the way to the 21st floor. There's actually 22 floors, but I guess the lawyers up there didn't want them to go to the very top, so we're going to stop at floor 21, and we will have almost busted it. But anyways, we'll have we got Wi-Fi and also cell coverage down at the top and the bottom, so we'll be emailing the chip starts every now and then, and we've tested that many times with hundreds of miles distance between us, and it works great. I created a brand new database file, so it's a really small, like 200 kilobyte file, really small, quick and easy to email. But we're looking forward to it. It'll be fun. And I think we'll have one participant starting every 10 to 15 seconds with I think 3 or 4 different groups where they'll take a 5-minute break between each wave. So should be a fun race. Yeah, I want to record a quick video before things get crazy in the morning. I've got everything set up like how my starting line computers can be set up. So I've got a little cheat sheet here. I've done this many times, but you know, it's the night before the race, so up at the last minute charging all the cameras and laptops and all the equipment we're going to bring tomorrow, so getting it all set up and ready. But anyways, I wanted to record a video here because, like I said, it may get crazy tomorrow, and I'm afraid I won't get a chance to cover how we set it all up, and I can do it after the fact, but you know, when I get home from a race, I like to unwind, unpack, get the invoice out, and settle down with the family. So I wanted to record a video now while I'm all alone here in the room. The way this can be set up is the starting line computer is going to this race is set up where it's going to have like multiple waves of people starting every, one person starting every actually 10 to 15 seconds. It's a very narrow stairway, and so it gets, they don't want to have too much congestion in there, so it's going to start probably one runner every 15 seconds, maybe 20 seconds. And so I think every 5 minutes or so she's going to have like a 2-minute or maybe even 5-minute gap and then start the next wave. So the way this is going to work is we're going to have a system at the first floor of the building, and of course there's Wi-Fi there. There's multiple sources of Wi-Fi, but I'm going to use my phone as a hotspot. And by the way, we've tested this many times over the last few weeks, even where my head timer and I were hundreds of miles away from each other, and everything worked flawless. So, but the process here is going to be, I'm going to be at the starting line, and I'm going to capture chip start and start listening, and that will get my, I'm going to use 2 Thinkify readers here. In fact, I've got them here with me. There's one, and I've got a backup one, and then the other one is right here. And so these are connected and running, and whenever I start the clock, I'll tell the runner. Of course, I can see the tag. In fact, let me see. There's a tag right here. So you'll see the activity indicator flashing. So when he's standing there and the activity indicator is flashing, then I'll know that he's safe to go ahead and proceed. And the stairwell, by the way, is going to have like a 20-foot area where only the person starting will be standing there. So if I see this activity indicator flashing, I know that it's picking him up, no problem. And so when he takes off, the next one will get in line. And by the way, I'm going to have my TV, and I'm going to do this a really small display so you can see, but I'm going to have a TV set up, and this screen that you're looking at here will be docked onto the TV, and that TV will say something like this. I'm typing with one hand here, so it's going to look slow. And so I'll have this on the TV, and it'll say something like this. And I can get rid of the Windows frame, make it even bigger. But this will be docked on the TV so that the 20 feet away area, they actually have to turn a corner to get to the starting line. So the TV will be right there at the beginning of the corner. They'll know to stand there. Of course, we'll have a volunteer standing there. And so while the race is going on, that'll be docked. And so what happens is people will go and go and go and go, and then every couple minutes or whenever, I'm going to, as you see my little cheat sheet here, I will, whenever there's a break in the action, we're going to email the database that has all the chip start times to my head timer, and he's going to be sitting there, and he's actually got the same kind of screen I've got. I'm going to minimize this for now, where on the right side he's got his email window, and he sits there and he just simply waits for a new email to pop in. He clicks on it, clicks on download. That goes straight to the downloads folder. On the RFID tab, he'll click on import chip start times capture remotely, and all he does is go to his download folder, click the file, and then that's it. And then now he's got all the newest chip start times. So he says the process, and he's a good guy, but he's not super computer savvy, but it takes him 15 seconds or less. And so it's just a couple clicks. Yeah, he clicks on the email when it comes in, clicks on download, imports them, clicks back on his inbox just to, so he's ready for the next one. And there's no rush on his part. He can wait till after the race is over if he wants to. He didn't have to do them right when he gets them. The software knows to keep, the newest, the most current read time. So even if he picks the old file, say he downloads a previous email and clicks it, there's no problems at all. But for my part, I've kind of got the most work here. We're going to start the clock, capture chip starts for a while, and then whenever we have that gap, I'm going to uncheck capture chip start. And what that does is that stores all those start times in the database, and then I'm going to press F7, and you'll see when I press F7, a new database file will show up right here. And as soon as I see that, I'm just going to drag and drop it onto the email, and there it goes. And of course I'll have his name already typed in, so let's do, I'm going to click right there. Sorry, I'm doing this one-handed. So it just pops right up, of course. I click it and then I hit send. And so that'll send the database to him. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to drag and drop this database all the way. Of course, I'll have folder number 1. I'll drop it in there. And I'm also going to take folder number 1 and drop it into my databases folder. And then in this case now, and of course I'm doing this one-handed here, but I'm going to reset the race. Oops, let me do reset the race F2. Do you want to reset? Yes. Are you sure you want to reset? Yes. And I'm going to capture chip start again. Start listening. My readers go connected. Start the race. And then now I'm going to tell the next runners, okay, yeah, you guys can go on. And so those guys will go. And then let's just imagine that another couple minutes have passed here. Of course, I'm going to uncheck capture chip start. That'll store all those reads in the database. And again, I'm going to press F7. You'll see a new file come down here. I'm going to take the file and drag it and drop it onto a new email. And then there it goes. And then just hit send, of course. And I'm going to drag this file into number 2. Drop it in there. Go on down to here. Drop it in there. And the only reason why I'm doing this right here is because let's say that email goes down or something happens and he's not getting them or whatever. Well, I have every database that has every chip start time right here. So in a worst case scenario, he can take a jump drive, which the elevator thankfully is like blazing fast. We can cover 20-something stories in like a minute and a half. It's just crazy. But anyways, I can take a jump drive to him. He can take these database files in here and then import the database the same way as when he's downloading them, which is from the import chip start times capture remotely. So, but anyways, yeah, I got a little cheat sheet here. You can read it. The only reason I typed this up is because it's awfully late and I can see me being tired in the morning and forgetting steps. So, but yeah, so that's our process, and hopefully you kind of got an idea there of the starting line process and the finish line process. But we've done many tests and feel comfortable with it, and we're able to get results super fast. And so the only thing else I guess I'll say is that this race will have registration going on even while we're timing. So I mean, up until the very last person that's currently registered starts the run, then they will let other people register. And so what we did on that is I went ahead and added a bunch of placeholders. And I don't think I had to do this, but I went ahead and did it anyway. So that way the software here at the starting line computer, let's say they register and then they come straight over to the starting line and they take off. Well, at least we have a placeholder, an athlete here, where that chip start time will be captured. And the let me actually show you this here. The registration computer, I've got an Excel file where it's got hidden columns that match up perfectly with the import feature. So that way we don't have to try to figure out, okay, let's drag columns around. You just click on the file, select it, import it, and you're done. And what it does is it'll overwrite, it'll use the bib number as a primary field, and all of the data it'll update with whatever's in the Excel file. And so while the race is going on, there'll be a race volunteer. Sorry, this is not an SSD, so it's got a little slow. that will have this Excel document. And again, my goal is to make it to where it's as foolproof as possible. So it's already got all the bib numbers in, and she simply, when that person walks up with their bib, she will take the registration form or simply ask them their name. So let's just say this 102 is me. I'm going to do AG, and tab, let's do Brian. And then of course I put every column possible as a drop down, that way she, he or she doesn't have to try to type anything. The different athlete types, climber, firefighter, law enforcement, that's the different categories they have. She will type an age, he or she will. They do, they don't have to do an email, but I've got that there. And then shirt size, these are all the standard shirt sizes. And then here's all the current teams. And so she'll probably pick from one of those. But so, and by the way, this is pretty easy to set up, where you got an Excel file with drop-down menus and stuff. And so if the team is not in there, she can type it in. So yeah, this is hopefully pretty easy and pretty foolproof. We've done stuff like this before. And so when she gets done with this, of course, I'll import. Well, in fact, I don't really have to import anything, because mine's simply getting bib numbers and chip start times. But I'll probably go in and update mine. But I'll email this file, this Excel file, to my head timer, and he already knows to download it. And then while the race is going on, he can either simply move this to the left and click on import and do Excel file. And then whenever he does that, he'll simply pick the file. And then once he picks the file, it'll ask, is there a column header? He'll hit yes, and then it'll automatically populate all the rows, and all he's got to do is hit import, and when that's done, he closes out, and now his list of athletes is updated. So super easy. There's quite a few steps there, but obviously this is not your typical race, but we've practiced it many times. We feel comfortable about it, but that's kind of how we're handling it. And I wanted to record a video to show that, because I know that others have requested, or had requested time stair climbing events, and so I wanted to kind of show how we set it up. So hopefully this will give you some guidance. Obviously I kind of flew through it, but this is a video. You can pause, go back, go slower, watch it multiple times. So if you got any questions, just let me know. Alright, so here's our finish line. I'll come up the stairs. Of course, we got the mat there, indicator. That's where the finish at. We got antenna here. We're using the FX90 500 reader. We don't need anything nearly that strong, but this is what we're going to use. We got reader right here, antenna there and antenna here. Camcorder recording the climb. Camera there capturing the photos. We'll have a TV there that will have their name and time when they finish. We're going to try to update, send a new database up every couple minutes. That way, for most people, will have the correct time whenever they get to the top. Of course, hitting the plunger with one computer, and then the other computer, I want to show you this, is the clock on the left and then the email on the right. So every time his phone dings, or if he sees a new email pop up, he simply clicks on it, clicks on download, clicks on the link on the RFID readers tab. Let's go ahead and select that. The link at the bottom that says import chip start times capture remotely. Selects the downloads, the file in the downloads folder, and then he's done. Then he waits for the next email. So, anyways, that's the process. All right.
Process or setup?
Both. That's both. Let's get the medals too. All right. So here is the lobby of the stair climb race. They're doing registration out there. The Excel file on the laptop is out there. The lady's very comfortable putting that stuff in. And so here's our tag check. You go over here for a second. So we're doing the tag check there. And then here's our results kiosk, which will update every now and then. We've got it to where the backup path on the laptop there is set to jump drive. The elevator takes like a minute to get down, so we'll just plug that jump drive in, it'll update. But the race director really is going to tell people not to worry about it until after the race is over, because I mean, obviously with the stair climb race, the very last person that starts could be the fastest, so the results can change. But that's ready to go, so that whenever the race is over, we update it, and then people can get the print off and all that stuff. So that is the start. Oh, sorry, that's the tag check and results kiosk area. We're going to have a clipboard with a pen here. A volunteer will be sitting with me, and I'm going to let that volunteer, actually, they'll have a line of people right here. They'll have my TV right here with a display that says, wait here to start. and then the volunteer sitting next to me, because the software doesn't care when people start or who starts or whatever, the volunteer will write the bib number of the next person down, and they'll go ahead and I've got my stopwatch that is in sync with, the actual date time stamp is in sync with my laptop, and so she can write down, let's say that she sees 8:03 and 12 seconds, well then she may write down 8:03 and 25 seconds or whatever, and whenever she sees on the stopwatch 20, and then she'll go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and that way that person starts at the time she wrote down. So she'll go ahead and write down times that are 10 seconds ahead of when the runner starts walking, and then she'll tell that runner to take off whenever that the stopwatch or the watch matches the time she wrote down. So that's how we're going to get all the bib numbers and times in order, and of course this will capture all the chip starts. I've got kind of numerous windows here. Of course, I'll have this going where it's capturing chip starts and the clock's reading. And I've got my little cheat sheet here in case I have a little brain fart. So that's my process. Every time we want to push an update out, basically we'll start with number 4. And then I'll do that. This should take about 30 seconds at most. And then whenever I've pushed that update out, I'll get it ready for the next group of runners to come in. And so with that, I think they already plan on having 5 or 6 waves, where there's a little gap in the action. So I'll press F7, it'll create a new backup file. I'll drag that and drop it onto my email. I'll hit send. This is already ready to go to my head timer. Then I'll drag this database file and drop it into the folder. And then I'll drop that folder into my databases folder. That way I don't have to worry about overwriting an existing database, so all these folders are empty. And then I'll hit compose and start up another email after I've got the chip start ready to go again. So it looks like a long, a lot of process here, but actually, like I said, it takes me about 30 seconds, quick and easy. And this is not me rushing. This is me, taking my time to make sure I do it right. And so that's our start. As for the equipment, we've got my tag check antenna over there. I'll probably bring back over here, and I might even just leave it over there the whole race. I really only need one TR200 and one of the Motorola's here, but I have a 9500. It's powered on, ready to go in case there's a problem with this. I want to be able to simply swap the cable over and swap the ports over. Now these, you see how beat up this one is. I've been using it for years. This is 7400, and so these just they don't go bad. I mean, I've had some people receive a unit that was bad from the factory, but if you got a good unit, these things should last forever. They're designed to go in like a back of a forklift, or this thing's just rock solid. Now this, of course, is designed more for retail use, but still, either reader, the components inside, there's no moving parts. I mean, they'll basically last very, very long time, especially if you use it just once a weekend. And so I have no worry about that going down, but this is our first time this race. I was actually going to do just the TR200s because obviously people are going to be very close to the tag. It's going to be one at a time, so I could use the smallest reader and be just fine, but obviously we got extra equipment and want to go a little overboard. There's my camcorder, so I'll turn it on and it will record for, I think I got a 64 gigabyte card in there, whatever, it'll record for a very, very long time. I've got a backup TR200 in case I have one go out, plus like I said, I just had it, so I might as well set it on the table, get it ready. And that's the setup. Alright, so the race is over. They're giving out awards over there. Taking pictures of the winners and stuff like that. Everything went great. Downstairs it couldn't have been any better. I went upstairs and the head timer up there said it went really smooth. So the race director said that she goes, "Where'd you guys come from? Heaven?" She really loved everything we offered and went really good. She said way smoother than last year. So very, very pleased. But yeah, so everything went great. Let me see the team results. MDEQ. There's overall results. I can click on someone's name or type in a bib number, hit search, print. But yeah, went great. Time to pack up. So this went really, really well. This was smooth. People would wait here. We had a volunteer here, of course, that would tell them, okay, you go ahead, and they would turn the corner. We'll tell them to stand on the black mat. There's a volunteer standing here. They would say, you know, hold on just 1 second. And by the time we got here, usually it was 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then take off. So this was a fun race. We enjoyed this.